Thanks for logging on to the Mountain West Digital Network. Pleased to be joined by UNLV Running Rebels head coach Dave Rice, your second year here. A lot of expectations, a lot of hype surrounding the Running Rebels this year. How have your guys embraced that, but also put in the work to make sure that obviously that's preseason hype and there's a lot of work to do?
Well, we've got a good group. We've got a group of experienced returning guys, only 5 of them in terms of scholarship guys that played minutes for us last year, and 8 new faces. But it's a group that comes to practice every day, works extremely hard, and it's a group that's together. And so we understand the expectations. There's great tradition at UNLV, and that's certainly one of the things that we've sold in the recruiting process. But this is a good group that works hard, but we also know how much hard work is ahead.
This being your second year here at the helm, your alma mater, things slowed down for you a little bit in the second year?
Not very much. We lost 4 very important seniors. Of course, Coach Kruger did such a terrific job here for 7 years, and so the program was in very good shape when we took over, and so we were able to move on to recruiting in future years. But this past spring was extremely busy for us in terms of recruiting. So slowed down to a degree, yes, but we went to Canada this summer, took an international trip, and it came at a great time. We know the value of that, but particularly was important this year with so many new faces. But we're excited. We're excited about how much hard work there is ahead and the challenge of what the task is at hand.
Let's start with a couple of the guys that are returning in Moser. What does he bring to the table as far as leadership, what he'll do for you on the court? What have you seen from him in the short term here at practice that he's ready?
Well, a long list of things that he does extremely well, and certainly it starts with his leadership. Mike is one of our captains, and he works so hard that his personality is infectious and brings it every single day. And then you think about, we talked about the work ethic, worked so hard in practice, but also worked hard in the offseason. We talked in the spring once he made the decision to come back to school, just a couple things that he needed to maybe work on, and he's done that low post, mid post game, and then also handling the ball on the perimeter in the half court, and he's done all those things. But we're excited about him. As good as Mike was last year, we expect an even bigger year for him this year from a consistency standpoint.
Then Anthony Marshall, same question. Another guy that I know you're going to lean on.
Yeah. Well, Anthony Marshall is certainly, like Mike Moser, a returning all-conference player. And Anthony will be in a situation where he started at the shooting guard spot for us last year, and then certainly was Oscar Belfield's backup. This year he's going to be our point guard. We'll go into the season as our starting point guard. We're excited about him. He's become more of a distributor, and he just, not his fault before, he was more of a slasher scorer, and now because he's moved over to the point guard spot, he's taken on more of the distributor role, and yet he rebounds the ball, he gets teammates involved. We're excited about him, and we all know how important winning is to Anthony. He'll be a big part of what we do.
You touched on it earlier, the recruiting trail during the spring. You brought in a heck of a recruiting class, a lot of guys buying in and want to be a part of this program. Anthony Bennett, obviously he's one of the marquee guys in your recruiting class. How has he fit in initially as a freshman so far?
Well, certainly Anthony Bennett's talent speaks for itself. McDonald's All-American, was a top 10 player coming out of high school, had an illustrious career at Findlay Prep here in Las Vegas. And yet, for all the things we can talk about with Anthony Bennett's talent, 2 things that stood out first for me in the recruiting process, but then second once he's gotten here on campus. And that's number 1, what a great teammate he is, how much he cares about his team, and then number 2, his high basketball IQ. And both those things will serve our team well and certainly serve Anthony well moving forward. He's a terrific player, but he's even a better teammate and even a better person. We're excited about him.
When you do hit the recruiting trail and you're saying you should be a part of the Running Rebels program, this place that we're in right here, the Mendenhall Center, this is a tremendous facility. When kids see a place like this, I'm sure they get very excited because UNLV has invested the time, the money into making this program what it is. I mean, this facility, it goes a long way, doesn't it?
We're very fortunate to have a facility like the Mendenhall Center. One of the first questions that a high-level recruit asks in the recruiting process is, do you have a practice facility? And now we can say, not only do we have one, we've got one that's on par with any in the country. And so from a recruiting standpoint, it's extremely valuable, but even more important, once our guys get here, it's one-stop shopping, so to speak, where we've got the 2 courts here, an opportunity for them to get better. From a basketball standpoint, we have an academic center downstairs, a strength and conditioning area, we've got a player lounge, just an area where guys can come in and get all their things done. And so it's great for us, but guys love it, and they spend a lot of hours in here shooting and getting better.
Non-conference schedule, you got games against Northern Iowa, going to North Carolina, Oregon. kids get excited about playing, big time teams like that, especially the Tar Heels?
Well, the conference schedule is going to be hard enough. We know how good our conference is. You think about the quality of the Mountain West with the 4 teams in the NCAA 3 years ago and 3 teams 2 years ago, and then 4 teams out of 8 last year go to the NCAA tournament and 2 more go to postseason. So the conference schedule is hard enough, and then our non-conference schedule is extremely challenging as well. But that's one of the things about being at UNLV is we're always going to play a very competitive non-conference schedule. It's what our guys like to do. It's good for our coaching staff, and certainly our fans have become accustomed to that. But a lot of challenging games that'll get us ready for conference play without question.
Coach Rice, good luck to the Running Rebels this year.
Thanks. Always good to be with you.
Thank you. Thanks for logging on to the Mountain West Digital Network.